right hand, they are pleasure forevermore. In the right hand, you have found that the gospel of medical missionary is the right hand of the gospel. And the right hand, you have the pleasure of the Lord forevermore. And in the third angel message, invalid, in the same Psalm 64, which is our key text, 67 and 64. Psalm 67.
Psalms chapter 67, verse number 2. That thy way may be known upon the earth, thy sin held among all nations.
Amen. That the way may be known upon all the earth. That the right hand may be known upon all the earth. And the third angel message is the three angel messages is the truth that should go to all the world, to every tongue and nation, for witness, so that the end of the world may come. And that is the preaching of Jesus Christ. He preached the truth of the gospel. He was healing the sick in every part. The book of Matthew chapter 8, verse 17, has happened for us. Matthew chapter 8, verse 17. That
chapter 8, verse number 17. The Bible reads, that it might be fulfilled that which was spoken by Isaiah the prophet, saying, Himself took our infirmities and bare our sickness.
Amen. In Himself took our infirmities and bare our sickness. That Christ bare our sickness. Now, the moment we are sick, we need to run to Jesus Christ. We need to tell Him all our things, that all our sickness, so that He can be able to take them. There is the only remedy. We need to claim, repenting all our sins. In the case of a patient, we must repent, we must do why the patient is sick. The cause. The cause is very important. Many times the cause, one is unforgiveness. It's because of the cause of the disease. Many people are suffering from cancers because they have unforgiving heart. Do you know that one? Unforgiving heart. Somebody wronged him and cannot speak to somebody. That one can cause somebody to be sick. And now we need to look at the cause. Also, there's one in Testimony to the Church, volume 2. 2T, page 29. 2T, page 29. Paragraph 1.
Testimonies for the Church, volume 2, page 79. Page
21.
Paragraph number 1. Spirit of prophecy reads, some plead their poor health. They would love to do if with any strength. Such have so long shut themselves upon to themselves, and thought so much of their own poor feelings, and they thought so much of their sufferings, trials, and afflictions, that it is their present truth. They can think of no one but self. However much others may be in need of sympathy and assistance, you who are suffering with the poor health, there is a remedy for you. If you clothe the naked, and bring the poor that are cast out to thy house, and deal thy bread to the hungry, then shall thy light break forth as the morning, and thy health shall spring forth speedily. Doing good is an excellent remedy for disease. Those who engage in the work are invited to call upon the Lord, and He has pledged Himself to answer them. Their soul shall be satisfied in drought, and they shall be like a watered garden whose waters fail not.
Amen. And what is the remedy?
Doing good.
Doing good. Doing good is the best remedy for those people who have been suffering. Many people are suffering because of meanness. They cannot even clothe the poor. The poor are just passing. Many people who are millionaires who have been suffering from cancer is because they are very mean. They cannot remember the poor. They just pass the poor. They are hoarding means. They are not even paying tithe and offering. they are not giving their wealth to be used in the kingdom of God. You can look at the example of Zacchaeus when he met Christ. He was a very rich man. The moment he met Christ, what happened? He said that those people whom he has robbed, he will return. And to the poor, he will give the rest to the poor. The man remained almost with nothing. Well, wealth is nothing when you met Christ. Christ will become to you all in all. And that's what we have been given. Many sufferings are because of the poor, or because we neglect the widow, we neglect the poor. James chapter 2. The book of James, that telling that what is pure religion. This
says,
chapter 1, sorry, it's chapter 1 verse 27.
Pure religion and undefiled before God and the Father is this. To visit the fatherless and widows in their affliction, and to keep himself unspoken from the world.
Amen. You say from verse 26, if any man among you seem to be religious, and blended not his tongue, but deceive his own heart, this man religion is made. Now, if you look at the religion of my religion, you cannot control the tongue. That means religion is nothing. Pure religion and defined before God and the Father is said to visit the fatherless and the widows in their affliction and keep himself unspotted from the world. That is living in the day of atonement to those people who are waiting for the second coming of Christ. For us, for our pure health, we must be doing such, because walking as evangelists, walking door-to-door evangelists, is when you feel you will reach the soul where they are, as Christ did. He was walking in each and every house, cities and villages, and getting the poor. He used to sympathize with them and reach into their need. He could give them something that they could help themselves. Because in 1888, this man called Dr. Kellogg, this man called Kellogg, who was in Berkeley. Ellen White said that he was a converted man. Why? Because he was helping the poor. He was a converted man in 1888. Helping the poor will make us identify that this man, our heart is converted or not converted. That's the thing that is really needed. It will bring joy into our services. It will bring joy into our services. In the book of the Salvages, page 21, the Salvages 21, saying that the joy of heaven is to give. The joy of heaven is to give. And giving, and the angels find joy in giving. 21.1. The angel of glory find their joy in giving. Giving love and tireless much care to souls that are fallen and unholy. Heavenly being who the heart of man, they bring to this dark world light from the court above. By gentle and patient ministry, they move upon the human path to bring the lost to the fellowship with Christ, which is ever close than they themselves can know. Now they find joy, the angels find joy in giving. Every time they tirelessly give. Even with us today, they continue working with us. But the human heart is the one that is not giving. Live a selfish life, the human heart. You look, they give freely. There's nothing, there's no salary being given to what? To angels. You know, salary makes us to be what? Selfish. Because you want for something. You don't want to give yourself for the service. Many times, that's what salary brings out to us. Salary, and if you look at the people who are being salary, there's no money for them. Even here in university, those people you think they have money, they don't have money. They have loans. That's the truth of the matter. Even the VC, who have studied, you know, the world will take a lot of your energy. That's what I remember with the world. The world can take a lot of your energy, misusing a lot of energy. You study for many years, you do PhD, and then you are given 300,000 per month. And what is 300,000 in your life? The 300,000 is not enough. You go for loan. You say now, after taking a lot of loan, you are bound, you cannot even do something. All your time, you cannot go to your farm, you're just using this money. You must rent a house. You must pay the school fee, you must pay for insurance, many things you're just paying. You're just paying many things. I have a friend who is a health reform, who lacked 100, but he's receiving 400,000 per month. Every month 400,000 plus allowances, but he lacked 100 for 1 day. Now you see that this world is vanity. This world, there is nothing he can offer for free. That's the look of things. But David says that he has never seen the man of the Lord suffering or begging for bread. That's what the Solomon also asked. That give me what? Don't give me, that give me enough so that I cannot what? I cannot beg. And don't give me excess that I cannot forget about it. Many people are forgetting the Lord because they have excess in their life. That we need not. Money is very important in the hand of a Christian to do what? To help the needy, to further the gospel. That's the one that we have been given, to live in a perfect faith. That's what was given to us. And there's something I want to look. Also, I wanted to add something. I don't know now where to start. My phone is not really working. It cannot open very large files. You're telling me there's low memory. Now, we missed the laptop today also. I wanted to show something day 2. But during the time, the journey of the people of Israel, in the book of Deuteronomy chapter 19, Deuteronomy chapter 19 verse 20. God, 2019, sorry.
2019.
Yeah.
The Bible says, out of it, when thou shalt besiege a city a long time, you make war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the trees thereof by forcing an axe against them. For thou mayest eat of them, and thou shalt not cut them down. For the tree of the field is man's life, to employ them in the siege.
Yeah. Verse 20.
Verse 20. Only the trees which thou knowest that may, let me repeat. Only the trees which thou knowest that may be not trees for me, thou shalt destroy, and cut them down, and thou shalt build bulwarks against the city that maketh war with thee until it be subdued.
Amen. Now, the journey of the people of Israel, Deuteronomy is a repetition of the law. And then the journey. Now, God is trying to repeat to another generation. But this generation have passed. This is now almost the 4th generation. And now God is speaking to them that if you besiege a city, making war against it to take it, thou shalt not destroy the tree there. Why? Because the tree is man's life. To employ it in the siege, it is the man's life, the tree. The tree, even in the Garden of Eden, we are given it is man's life. In the Garden of Eden, the book of Genesis chapter 2. Genesis chapter 2, from verse 18. 15. Verse 18. Verse 8. Verse 8. And the Lord God planted a garden east in Eden, and there put man put man whom he had formed. And out of the ground made the Lord to grow every tree that is pleasant to the sight. God planted the tree that is pleasant to the sight, and good for food, the tree of life also in the midst of the garden, and the tree of knowledge of good and evil. Now we are seeing that even in the Garden of Eden, God planted trees. Now, what is the importance of that tree? The trees of the Lord have something very special. The book of Psalms 104. Psalms 104, verse 14 and 15.
The Bible says in Psalms 104, verse number 14, "He causes the grass to grow for the cattle, and herb for the service of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth."
Amen. Now, if you look at the cattle, they just eat the grass. And that grass has all the nutrients. They don't need any other thing. Only grass is enough. Other things are human invention. And you can see. And the herbs for the service of man, the herbs are the trees that for the service of man. What is the work of the service?
Healing.
When you to repair. The service for repair. Now the herbs are for the repair of man, that he may bring forth food out of the earth. The moment you are going to the garden, you are going to plow, or you are going to weed. And after doing that thing, because you lose a lot of energy, there's that vigorous, the loss of electrolytes from the body. And now the herbs, the green coloring matter, will bring repair to the body. Verse 15. "The wine that maketh glad the heart of a man, and oil to make his face to shine, and bread which strengthens man's heart." Now the wine that makes glad heart of a man, and oil to make his face. Now the trees has what? They brings wine that makes the heart of a man to be glad, and oil to make his face to shine. The oil is making our face to shine, and the bread which strengthens man's heart. The tree of the Lord are full of sap. Now the tree of the Lord has sap. They have sap. And what we use, the seed of the Lebanon which he had planted, the sap is the balm, is the oil that will bring the healing. Is the oil that will bring healing. Now all the trees, we need to study them so that we can able to know their property on how we can able to use them. And different modes. We can use making balances, making poultices, doing what infusion, decoction, another way of how to apply all these plant balances, infusion, decoction, sacs. Yeah. There are many different types of how you can able to apply all the one. These types of these herbs. How we can able to apply them in case of any diseases, in case of any disease, or in case of any disease. And now, when you look at the people of Israel again, in the book of Jeremiah, chapter 46, verse 11.
46, verse 11, the book of Jeremiah. The Bible says, "Go up into Gilead, and take a bath, O virgin, the daughter of Egypt. In vain shalt thou use many medicines, for thou shalt not be cured."
In the use of medicines, you shall not be cured. But in the use of balm, the use of the plant, there is a lot of cure. At this particular time, people are really suffering. The people of the Lord were really suffering. And now God was speaking to us. Go up into Gilead. Gilead was in Israel. And take a balm over in the daughter of Egypt. The Egyptians, they don't know the Lord. They have nothing. They have no truth about the Lord. But they were immediate and assured that go into Gilead, so they can able to find some balm. Now that balm is from them, is an oil, is a sap from the plant. And now when we use them, they have the healing properties. They have the healing property that will be able to do a wonderful work. Don't know how I'm able to do this thing the best way. I wish that it would be seeing these examples of this tree so that I can able to learn from there. Can able to learn their healing property. Can able to learn their healing property. God can be speaking of what we don't know. We need to speak of what we know and what we are seeing. That can really help us. that can really help us. So the Bible has given us just a summary, but I'm not going to point him. There are places where they are pinpointed some of the things. And I wanted to speak also. In the Garden of Eden, we were given the tea. Now, in case of sickness, the thing that we need to look at, we must look at the cause of anything. We are given many times the cause of the problem into our body system is the food that we eat. Because of the new technology that is the man's invention that has been given to the world, God gave us seed to eat. Look at Genesis chapter 1, verse 29.
Genesis chapter 1, verse number 29.
Yes.
The Bible reads, And God said, Behold, I have given you every herb bearing seed, which is upon the face of the earth, and every tree in which is a fruit of tree yielding seed. To you it shall be for me.
Amen. Now we are given herbs bearing seed, and the trees in which the fruit of a tree yielding seed. Now we are to eat something that is yielding seed. Because in yielding seed there is continuity of life. But nowadays what do you have? You have plants that cannot bear seed. What if you take something which does not bear seed? What is the work of a seed? A continual generation. When you take a GMO like many of the maize that you eat today, they are F1 generation. They are written there F1, and a yielding man is going to buy it, saying that this one is really yielding, but it's F1 generation. To me, that only one generation. It has only one generation. It cannot continue the second generation, the third generation. And you are going to eat something which is having only one generation. What is happening to your cells? Because the cells continue what? Repair. They have continual repair. But the moment you take something that cannot continue in growth, it means that you are retarding the cell. You are making your cell not to grow. Because what you eat is what will make your cell to grow. And God was very good when He was telling us that we need to eat something that have seed that can able to grow for another generation. That's why we need to look at. GMO is the one that is killing many people in this world. And the chemicals. We were just talking another day. You take that plant, then you give it DAP. Your soil is going to be dependent on DAP. The moment you give your soil DAP, it is going to be the soil depending on your DAP. It's not giving, the soil is not now going to release the nutrients that it has. Because the soil has a lot of nutrients. You are made of soil. Can you remember? And when you are made of soil, for us to have that living body, the soil must have all the nutrients. Over 100 nutrients. But now, when you plant that soil, when you plant that maize, you give it a DAP, diammonium phosphate. Only two main elements. But the body needs almost 80% elements so that it can able to be fed enough. But now you give a plant which is only having 3 minerals, which cannot give the blood enough nutrients. Now you will be dying because of lack of what? Nutrients, malnutrition. There is no zinc, there is no potassium, there is no sodium, there is no what? Calcium. That lack of minerals is going. All the diseases we are having because of malnutrition. You eat something, yet that something has no fiber. That something has no enough nutrients. Now we need to look at our agriculture. For us to have a good health, we must look on what we are going to feed on. It should be non-GMO, it should be organic foods that is going to give us enough nutrients so that we can be able to feed ourselves. Good blood. Look at Leviticus chapter 17:11. What the Lord one from us. Leviticus.
Chapter 17, verse number 11. The Bible reads, "For the life of the flesh is in the blood."
Just leave from that. The life of the flesh is in the
Blood.
where is your life? Your blood is the life. Now we need to feed your blood so that you can be able to have good life. You must feed your blood with enough nutrients so that you can be able to have good life. The moment you will not feed your blood, if you feed your blood with impurities, will you have life? You will not have life. Now we need to feed our blood with enough nutrients so that we can be able to have a proper circulation and a proper health into our life. The blood tells us all. Our blood need a lot of nutrients. Need to eat food rich in vitamin A. That will give us enough blood and also make us to have strong immunity. We need to have food which are rich in minerals, not only vitamin A. There are a lot of minerals that we need to study. There are a lot of minerals that we need to do. We need food that are rich in the super. We have superfood. Superfood like avocado is a superfood. Can you get avocados in Yale? The avocado are very important. The health. Those are superfood. We have aloe vera. We have coconut. Those are superfood. We have flaxseed. We have chia seeds. We have what again can we talk about? Example of superfood. Pumpkin seed. Yeah, pumpkin is very important. It's a superfood. Pumpkin. Very, very important. That one can able to give us a lot of nutrients that can able to make the blood be very pure. For example, only pumpkin seeds, not pumpkin seeds, pumpkin leaves is rich in iron, can beat cancer. Pumpkin can beat cancer. If you just juice them very well. Another thing that you can speak about, African spinach. I don't know in the local language. In our language, or in Kisi, they call Derema. Don't know if somebody can go to. Then in Dolu, they call Ndemara. Oh, you don't know, you've been living in the city. Derema. Those who can grasp Derema. Huh? No, pigweed, not really pigweed.
See pigweed.
It's a climbing, like it's
Yeah.
a climbing tree. It's not actually a climbing. It's not a climbing tree. The climbing what? It has some tension, it's climbing, and then it is mucus-like. Yeah, it is by that, but it has a very. It is a dark green vegetable with a dark green vegetable. Very powerful. Those are local. They are organic. You cannot. Those people of genetic engineering have not done a lot of things in there. You cannot do a lot of things. But if just use that, it has a lot of iron. It can boost the immune system, and those people suffering from HIV can live with them without taking any ARVs and other things. There's another one important one called blackjack. Do you know this blackjack? Yes. They have a lot of properties which I cannot say without in my memory. Blackjack is anti-HIV. Very, very important. That blackjack leaf. You can take it as vegetable. Blackjack is a vegetable. Blackjack is a vegetable. Yeah, one time we went to Pokot, Western Pokot, and we found that people are eating something which we are not eating at home. They told us this one is a vegetable. When I look at it, it was very, very scary. But we want to eat it because there it is a vegetable and very nutritious. Now, don't be afraid of blackjack. Black tank is a vegetable, it cannot keep. Very nutrient dense. It will give you a lot of nutrients that will make the blood to be clean. Now, what the food that will give us good blood is the food that will help us really. We are told in that Psalms, the one we read, Psalms 104 verse 14. Verse 15 that we were talking about the wine. Yesterday I was just talking about the grapes. A pure grapes is very, very important. For those people who have been having anemia, any type of disease, that wine makes the heart of man to be glad. Wine. That purely pressed wine is very, very important. If you are taking a fast, like that 1 week fast, or 3 day fast, with that grapes, you will break the whole body to be. You will be like if you are so old, you will be like a newborn baby. If you are taking a grapes fast or watermelon fast. The problem with watermelon, there's a lot of chemicals to be applied. You need to have a full-grown watermelon. There's a lot of chemicals to apply so that you can have a good watermelon. But that's why we don't recommend a lot of watermelon. But watermelon is very important if you can get an organic watermelon. But grapes, they don't apply a lot of chemicals. They don't apply a lot of chemicals. But you can do, although it is very expensive. But if you're coming from Nairobi or Meru, these places they're there. You can able to have them. And they're very important. They are superfood. And they do a lot of things in our body. What else can I talk about? You'll bring a projector so that I can able to remember very many things as I go. Any other question that you can have or any addition?
Question. You have been talking about superfood, right? What do you mean by that?
Superfood. Superfood are food that had, how can I say? They have more than. Let me talk about, for you to get the meaning. Let me talk about coconut. It's a superfood. Coconut as a superfood. It is antivirus, antibacterial, antifungal. Antivirus, antibacterial, antifungal. Plus many minerals. Now, they have a lot of nutrients. If you take like avocado, you cannot starve. You cannot be malnutrition. You cannot have malnutrition. Why? Because they are. If you take avocado, it have a lot of nutrients in it. That it is not like maize flour, not like ugali. Ugali, we can just talk about starch, fiber, and other minerals, which are not so many, like coconut, avocado. Now they have a lot of nutrients in them. So that if you take one, it will supply all other nutrients. It will supply a lot of nutrients which other food does not have. Yeah, that's the meaning of that food. But I will give the meaning. I've just forgotten how I can able to define what is a superfood. But they have a lot of nutrients that can able to make the body, build the body. That can able to build the body. Eating those superfoods will really help us. But again, should I add? You can add something.
Praise God. Praise God.
Amen.
From the verse that we read, Psalms chapter 104, verse number 14, which says, He causes the grass to grow for the cattle, and the herb for the service of man, that He will bring forth food from out of the earth. You see, it was God's original plan that we may have our food from the earth. Praise God.
Amen.